Okay, call to order at 6:01. And we go right to the period of public expression, and we have a proxy,
Yes, a proxy, yes.
Michael.
So I received a text message from Nada Barry. And she asked me, she says, Michael, just looked at the library minutes, reminded me, plaque ordered for Gloria. I was listening online. Please tell them in public expression time that I think it is time we did something for Kathy Creedon, and perhaps ask Michael Heller to do a collage that can be hung to honor her, as you and I discussed. I expect to be online listening in, but not coming down. Village board was around 3 hours last night, enough for 1 week, and I try not to drive much in the dark. Thanks, Nada. Thank you very much, Nada.
And the plaque looks beautiful. Okay, approval of minutes from October 15, 2023.
I move to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, Kelly with a report from the Friends of the Library.
Okay, so the Friends of the Library met actually in the morning, right before this plaque arrived. They are busily planning for their winter book and author, which will be Sunday, December 3rd, from 4 to 6 p.m. in the Scala Rotunda. Julia Hart, who is the featured speaker. She wrote a book called Brazen. And she is also the star of the Netflix show. So they've sold about half the tickets. We have room for 50 people. They have a bunch of local restaurants who are donating food. And Sag Harbor Beverage, I believe, donated some beer. And so it's gonna be a party up in the Rotunda. Get
How much is
tickets
it?
online. $65 plus event fees. So.
Okay. Right, so that's it.
That is it.
Okay. On to Elliot, Treasurer's Report.
Okay, as I said in my general summary, it looks like we're moving towards a comfortable close. I was said here, we're still not seeing charges towards the blow up. Kelly tells me
Yeah, they
they're
are.
right here in the pile, but you don't have to hear about them until next month. So for now, you can all be happy that as of the end of October, our financial position was $5,684,268, a great deal of money. Ahead of the same day in 22, a little bit below the 12-month rolling average, but that's only to be expected because it's a fall month. In fall months, we never make a lot of money. Mortgage balance going down as here, for those who want to take a look at that. Let's look to the statement of activity, what happened, revenue and expenses in October. Again, fall months are almost always losing months. It's not even, yeah. October 23 expense, October, right now, the chart statement of activity is pages 8 to 11. My report is on page 5.
Yeah, no, I just.
And the statement of activity begins on page 8. So those of you that want to follow along, you can, but I can summarize it briefly, which is that our expenses in the month of October were $273,600 against income of $19,842. Very similar to last year's results in the sense that the expenses were almost identical. Last year they were $267,780, a little bit less. Interestingly, our revenue was so much lower last year, only a little over $5,000. So the bigger picture looks very good here because the expenses didn't go up significantly from year to year, but the revenue did. It went up quite significantly, 400%. So that's a good thing. It's mainly due, of course, to the investment returns that we're seeing this year as compared to last year. That's really all I have to say about October. It's pretty straightforward, but we should look at the details, which is on page 12 to 16. Again, if you want to follow it, about where we were in relation to the budget. End of October is 83% of the fiscal year, the calendar year. And we spent less than that. So that's really the number that matters. We didn't, not by much, but 82.16% is obviously under that 83%, which we would have been looking for. So we are keeping the expenses under control, even though we are spending a fair amount, more than we expected in a number of areas. And I don't even go to the details here of programming, personnel benefits, office expense, repair and maintenance, and overall buildings and grounds. Those are all running over, and they will probably be over budget at the end of the year. But I believe that none of them will jeopardize our balance at the end of the year because there's significant areas of savings elsewhere in the budget. Plus, our receipts of funds, we have 98% of our regular operating budget target in already. But we're probably going to go significantly over 100% of the budget target for the year in revenue. For example, in contributions, we're already at 147%. In financial income, we're 189% of budget. So, I believe that between savings in other areas and the fact that the income is running high means that we will be in very good shape at the end of the fiscal year. Now, the issue of the bills for the blow-up, I want to talk about just a moment because we are going to be spending $500,000 to $600,000 on the blow-up. And I want to clarify with something in the minutes. I didn't want to quote unquote correct the minutes, but I think that something that I said was misperceived last time. The blow-up expenses are not being paid out of the regular, they're not in the budget. So they're being paid for separately, and they are being funded out of reserves. Now, at the moment, our reserves are not all in one place. We've got capital reserves within the bank accounts. We got capital reserves in T-bills. We got, but the point is that no, we're not paying for the glow up out of capital reserves. We are in fact paying for it out of the, well, what am I trying to say?
You're trying to say that we're paying for the glow up out of capital reserves, not the operating budget.
Right, exactly, yes.
So they won't be on the P and Ls.
Well, it'll show up
This is-
under,
I didn't think we'd have to get into this tonight because I didn't think that, we didn't get here.
Well, you were trying to clarify something
Yeah,
that Nick
next
misstated
month-
the last time,
Next month, we will,
and you've totally failed.
hopefully by next month, when we have to report all these bills, it'll be clear. I'll have a more transparent way of sharing with you how much money is being spent, where it's coming from, and how it's going to affect where we are at the end of the year.
so like it doesn't, it'll. So everything for the glow up is under the 8560 line,
Yeah.
which is a new line that we added, but we didn't budget for it, right? So it's
Right.
actually, if you go to page 16, there's probably a hole right through it. Right in the middle. Yeah, so that's where everything from the glow up is being charged to. So you'll see that line, but then you'll also see that we've moved money out of savings.
Right.
Which will,
Yeah.
which will pay for it.
Yeah. Like I say, this is kind of a work in progress for us because we're trying to figure out the best way to separate out these expenditures this year. We're gonna have an even bigger issue next year because we're spending significantly more next year outside of the budget. We're spending $1.5 million as opposed to $500,000. So we've got to figure out a better, the best way to make this transparent to the board so everybody understands where this money is coming from and where it will leave us. So that's about all I have to say about that. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
Same time next month.
All right, okay, part 4, your bills and applied payments, check detail is all there. And I've gone over it, looks fine. The bill payment list, the warrant is over $100,000, so there's a lot of unpaid bills there, and there's more here. But,
Why was that name changed from Warren to Bill Pay?
Because that is what QuickBooks did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all the name changes were name changes that QuickBooks changed the names of the reports, and I put in a little subheading to let you all know what it was formerly called, but starting in January, I'm gonna get rid of that, and you guys are just gonna use the regular names.
What was still called warrants?
You
for the
can
record.
still call them warrants, yes, but the report is the bill payment report.
That's it, they
The,
memorize
the
them.
payroll details, very straightforward, these are on page 27 to 38, but they're very straightforward. Two payrolls, one for 43 and change, one for 43 and change, so very straightforward, everything looks fine there. So
To
I would,
approve the treasurer's report.
You don't?
Okay, any questions?
No.
Okay, we need a motion to approve.
I'll say it again, I move to approve the treasurer's report.
Are you doing all three?
All,
One
yeah,
with-
treasurer's
and the payroll.
Encompassing the warrants or the former warrants, which are now the bill payments, the bills and supply payments, payroll details.
thank you.
Okay, can I have a second?
I second.
All right, all four.
Aye.
This is. Okay, Kelly, director's report.
Yeah, we've been busy. We put a new card. All right, so the glow up is 95% complete with additional equipment and furniture, hopefully before the end of the year. So that's new chairs upstairs. The additional range of shelving, the shelving that's up on the main floor right now is our Whoopsie shelving, as we discussed last month. We're also getting an additional Nook style seating, something for the children's room. There was a spot, right now, there's a lovely Reynolds Ruffins illustration hanging on the wall. There was supposed to be a bookshelf there, but it's crooked, not the bookshelf. The bookshelf was not crooked, but the wall and the pole. And so when we put the bookshelf in there, it was very obviously crooked. So we moved that bookshelf. But we feel like there needs to be like a little cozy seating, something there. So we're gonna get something that fits in there for people to sit on. And we're hoping for enough because we can't keep kids out of those nooks over by the light board. We're also gonna be replacing the book carts. We've gotten a lot of compliments about how clean and bright the lower level looks. People love the Everbright board. We're missing a piece of there was a missing piece that needed to be fabricated to hang there's cabinets that are supposed to hang behind the lower level service points. So once those cabinets are hung, then we can get them out of our storage closet and then get shelving for our storage closet. So there's just a couple of like stuff that we've got to work through. Let's see, our rugs are in and they're here. We put little rug stoppers because they were sliding around the floor. So now the rug stoppers are here and our rugs don't slide anymore. And just thank you to the staff because everybody handled it with great grace and rolled with the punches. Onward to the HVAC project, we have been in contact with Chris Oken because our diffusion well pressure has been high. So I'm gonna be on the phone with him probably a lot tomorrow because we were hoping that the reason the pressure was up was because the ground was too saturated from all the rain. That still might be the case, but it's not going down. And 10 is not where we want to be. We want to be at a 0, worst case at like between 0 and 5. So Richard's been monitoring it. It fluctuates. The fluctuations seem to occur around the same time that the system might be in use for a long period of time. So like if we have a cold snap and the heat is running and the system is calling for a lot of water, we have a higher pressure than obviously when it's not calling for water because there's no water, being dumped into the well. So that's that. Our after hours Monster Mash Halloween Bash was a great success. We had 4 librarians up at the NILA conference. Anthony and I presented separate programs. Liz and Catherine went to many professional development things. Anthony and I did as well. I was nominated by the JJML staff and awarded the NILA Distinguished Service Award for community service and for service to NILA. So that was nice.
Well done.
Thank you. And
Just see anybody there?
I did. And we took Dan's mom out to lunch. So we got to hang out with Mama Glass. Can we call her Mama Glass?
Sure.
All right. Which was nice.
Mama Glass.
Mama Glass. I'm excited to announce that we are going to have some archival digitization equipment which we'll be purchasing for the archives once we get that donation in from Case Barnes, which will really move Catherine's work to digitize a lot of the really delicate stuff we have upstairs forward, which is really great. So we're very thankful to Pace for offering that up and for getting that equipment into the building. And then I attended a ton of meetings. If you look at the statistics, they're low. Why
Wait
are
a
they?
minute, I wanna know what fund trustee scenarios for serious legal compliance is.
So that's actually the, there's like an ask a lawyer for one of the library resource councils, and it's this woman, Cole Adams, and her programs are usually great. This one was very much focused on issues in municipal libraries, of which there are a lot in Western and North Country, Western New York and North Country. So it really didn't like apply to me, or us. So I did only stay for an hour, and then I had a phone call with you. So, it was a good reason to leave. And,
It's disappointing, it sounded like
I was,
something
her
you'd have like
programs are
fun.
usually really great, but she, you know, municipal libraries, like, I don't wanna talk too much about municipal libraries, but basically, because they are run by, you know, like the village or whatever the case may be, the village sees them oftentimes as a department of the village.
Oh.
And actually municipal libraries, if they have a fund balance at the end, that doesn't go into the general, that's actually the library's fund balance. And what's happening in a lot of libraries that are municipal libraries in other parts of the state is they're having that battle with their villages and towns who are like, no, you're a line item, you work for the village, you're not us, we get to keep this. And so that's a lot of what she's battling right now, which is interesting.
Hmm. Okay.
So I don't know if that's a fun scenario, but that was the scenario. And then, of course, statistics are low. Why are statistics low? Because we were close to 3.5 weeks. But we expect to see many gains in November. And then the personnel report.
Okay. So we need a motion to approve the personnel.
Wait. There's a question, excuse me.
Question, you got it.
Tell me a little bit about Rita. I'm sorry that we didn't get to see her before her retirement. Did she inform you of her retirement, and was that normal?
I mean, I'm happy to discuss the employment history of a particular person or person in executive session. She, you know, I think it had been a long time coming, and she decided she was going to retire, and for her, like, it had to be
Okay,
then and there.
I mean, she's been here a long time.
She has,
so I was-
18 years.
Wow. Okay, sorry.
Okay, can we have a motion now to approve that personnel report?
I would move to approve the personnel report.
Very good.
I will second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, on to the committee reports. Personnel, oh, and it's not here. Okay, we did have a personnel meeting. And that was mainly to come up with the evaluation form, to tweak it from last year. And I'll be passing out the results in executive session. But that was the purpose of our meeting. We worked really hard on it, singularly before the meeting, Robin and Ann and me, and then we had a 2-hour meeting, which produced the form. So that's the report from personnel. Elliot, finance. I did that.
Oh, you mean the committee?
Yeah.
Here, we did not meet. We are meeting hopefully soon. I'd like to get a date on the
Yeah.
calendar for very
With,
soon.
with Diane too. We
Oh,
need to
yeah,
meet
yeah,
to
yeah.
have a regular meeting and also
Sure.
have the signature card. So I'll make a call into LPL for that,
Okay,
to get her out here. I think she likes to come in the morning.
okay.
It's probably okay to do that.
Yeah, just December 7th.
You're right, right.
And are we gonna try to do the meeting at that time?
Yes.
And how would that work for you?
What date we talking
All right, daytime meeting. What day? We don't
Oh,
know.
I
that.
don't know.
Well, okay.
Okay, I'm
Usually
I'm
comes
fine
up.
with that.
Okay,
I'm fine
we'll
with that.
circulate it when.
I'll reach out to her and then we'll
Yeah.
get some.
Can we combine that with, what was the other committee where we have all of us on the same committee? Is it, oh, I know, it's long range planning. Oh, no,
I don't
outreach.
think, I think we got a lot of stuff to deal with finance.
Yeah,
I would rather not double up meetings.
Okay, that's fine.
okay, building and ground stand,
Did not mean, but lots to discuss in, no business.
okay, policy and long range planning,
No,
that's Michael.
There's policy, well, like, I thought I was outreach.
no.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
No.
Diane,
No,
Is Robin and Diane, right?
I've been doing the committee assignments, so I'm all, don't even listen to me.
no change since the last meeting when. we
Okay.
did that with the notary.
Now we're on to outreach, Michael,
We did not meet, but I would like us to meet.
okay. Let me get the LPL lady schedule and then
Mhm.
maybe we can do
Okay.
that. And the ever popular mash park,
Well, you know the park always meets, so I will always have a report for you.
never a dull moment.
So the park board met on November 8th. The park board is still looking for a work truck. The roof on the house that the park owns near Germain Avenue there has been replaced with a shingle style roof. Certain playground equipment needs repair and the ground surrounding it will need a replenishment of engineered pine fiber. Single solar. And the contract with Rob Cressberg Tennis has been renewed. And Anthony Stevens has been hired to renovate field number 4, which is a softball, baseball field as requested by the school district.
Is that the one bar, the walk bar
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
So these- the baseball
Looking at
field.
Lower Road.
And the park board anticipates a CPF decision in December. And that is the news.
I just wonder, is this engineered wood fiber, is that, are they gonna use all those piles of wood they have outside the house? What are those all about?
Okay, good
It's
question,
the bulk.
because the park manager who lives in that house uses that wood in his wood burning
Oh,
stove, or whatever. He's
he's got enough to last a while.
a long
The
time.
house has no insulation.
It's a cold place.
And 2 kids.
It was built, the house was built circa 1910.
Wow.
It's an old house. Now that pine bark will be purchased.
Okay, thanks. I know we have the 2 ad hoc committees which are on hiatus.
One for as far as the ad hoc one for the books, and I guess we have to select a date. Maybe by next meeting, so that we're planning on, I guess, of June.
I thought we did pick a date.
I know we had looked at some dates, for some reason, June 12th sticks in my mind, but that could be. Just my mind's playing tricks. but-
June 12th is the 11th, so. Or June 12th is the 11th. June 12th is a Wednesday.
Oh, sorry, but I thought it was gonna be sometime that.
The 15th, 16th is Father's Day weekend. I thought we were aiming for June 8th.
That-
Oh, no, June 8th doesn't work because my brother's getting married. I mean, you guys can do it, but
No,
my
we got
brother's
you
getting
there.
married. So maybe not June. Maybe June 15th.
June 15th, we could. That
was the date, actually.
that
Was
could be-
it?
That could
Okay.
very well be it, yeah.
Yeah, because I can't do around the 8th, because I'm from Situate.
All right, yeah, I knew that was, I thought it was just somewhere in the middle, so
Yeah,
for now, that's, I guess, gonna be our target date. We'll start gearing up in earnest.
Okay, we'll pick up scholarship in the new year. Diane. Okay, Ms. Kelly,
Okay, so,
can I just ask a question?
yeah,
You have HVAC updated is 42 to 58.
I sent an email out. I took those pages out because
Saw that.
we could not print them. Because they're huge and they would be
I gotcha.
Those huge pages, you're gonna have to read that.
yeah.
Little.
I want to hear, it. Couldn't make these any bigger, no idea. So basically, buildings and grounds needs to meet. We need to decide how we want to go about picking a general contractor. I have a list of recommendations and, you know, Lizardos is happy to come out and explain what all of those plans mean. We can do that just with buildings and grounds. We can do that with the entire board. We can have a special meeting to do that if it's easier to get them out here during the day.
Should that be also purview of finance contracts?
Sure. If you all,
Budget planning contract.
That might be good for the whole board, just it's such a big deal.
so we should probably do a work session meeting for that.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay. You guys are gonna be busy in December, man. So can we, so we're not paying Lizardos to drive out here after hours at whatever their rate is for after hours? Is this something we can do during the day,
What was that?
like on a Monday?
Yeah, if it's a Monday, I can swing it. If it's not a Monday, I can see what I can do.
Why don't we look at our calendars, because that's we set something up now if we can.
We don't want them to come out at nighttime.
Your Monday choices are the 4th, the 11th, or the 18th.
I said the 4th or the 11th.
We'll have to have a couple, because, you know, see if they can make it.
4th is Monday, 11th is Monday. What about the 12th of
No, it's gotta be a Monday.
Monday? Okay, so,
That good Monday for you too? Or just-
No, it's for you, but you're the head of the
Right,
building and grounds, so you get to pick a Monday.
so I'm sure it'll be Monday.
right,
Fourth is best.
I mean, there's also, no, I'm. busy
But
that
this
day.
is also one where if someone can't make it, we don't have, it's not like the retreat where we absolutely have to have everybody. If somebody can't make it, it's okay for them. to miss this
Yeah.
meeting.
So I can go to Lizardos and I'll pitch the 4th and the 11th. Is there a time? I mean, 10 AM, 11 AM?
If we could make it a little, if we could make it a little bit later than if it's a, like 10 or 11, if 11 would be even better for me, because so that if it ends up being a billing day, I can get work done before and then.
I'm available for that. I could do that. I'm free the whole day, so I can.
So
do
pitch
that.
it to any
Okay.
of those dates to them, see.
All right, the 4th and the 11th,
Just
either 10 or 11.
my own curiosity, when you figure the time frame of this will be.
Shouldn't be more than an hour.
Alright. Yeah.
Okay.
And.
Yeah, I'm fine. This is
So
horrible.
after a call for both.
I just,
I have a cough that's a part of my personality now. I've had it for like 6 weeks.
yeah, no, this is a very productive cough, but I need to recover afterwards.
Alrighty, so, so you'll pitch the 4th.
I'll
or the
ask them if
11th,
they can do the
see
4th or the
they're-
11th.
okay.
And we'll just get as many of you here as we can.
And I'll look at this thing on my computer so I can like actually read it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
Can't see that.
I mean, if you're not an engineer, like, you know, it could be it could be plans for Lucy the elephant in Atlantic City. Who knows? Probably not. I did look at them. It's not. But,
Alright, so,
so that's really the update is we have to have them come out and they'll go over the plans with us. And they don't do project management. They sort of feel like it's a small enough, straightforward enough project. When I spoke to Patrick on the phone that, you know, a general contractor can manage this project.
Who do they recommend to them?
They gave me 3 names, which I printed out and left in the printer upstairs,
Okay.
unless Chance gave it to you when you were doing your prints.
Maybe it's in here somewhere.
But there's
I don't think
there's a
so.
couple of general contractors that work in library land that I'm gonna reach out to too, just to see if it's something they're interested in doing.
What do they estimate the time for the whole job to take? To be a week?
A week, that's
Couple of days, couple of-
like months, come on,
Okay,
like 12 weeks, couple of months.
From when it shows up here and they install it,
Oh, no,
That's what I'm talking
that's,
not the whole
no,
process.
probably like a month. It's a
Right.
while. Cause it's not like they've gotta do a lot of, for them to put it on the ground, they have to do a lot of, I don't wanna say landscaping, but landscaping.
That's fine, that shouldn't take more than.
Well, they've gotta, look at the plan.
Okay.
It's actually, there's actually a lot of like
Grading.
grading, yeah, that
And
needs
there's
to be
also.
done.
Is there any anticipated closure of the library involved with this?
Well, because it's going out on a cement slab,
Mhm.
which is gonna be a little bit in the
But they're
ground.
connecting it into stuff
They,
inside.
they believe that we will not have to close the library.
That's terrific.
Because if it had to go on the roof, we would have had closures because there would have been a ton of other things that they need to do. If we have to close, it'll be for like a half a day or a day because of electrical,
Or because you don't have heat.
or because we don't have heat.
Yeah,
Although, hopefully it'll be a, early spring,
I thought me spring.
a balmy spring, like maybe climate change can work in our favor just this once. So. That's it, that's all I got on that.
okay, on to new business.
So just follow up from the strategic planning retreat. I have those slides. I will mail them to you before I go away on vacation. I was waiting for Vic to give them to me and then I was like, oh wait, I already have them. So I'm not firing on all cylinders today, kids. So I will send them out to all of you. And, does anybody have any thoughts, feelings, opinions? The next, long range planning should get together and we should decide on a plan moving forward. So, that was
Well,
easy.
I think we're in a good place, a good starting point. I mean, there's so many issues out there in Library Road that we don't have, so it already eliminates a lot. And I think we could just.
Is it
go with
worth,
what we have?
is it worth putting just a basic one on there so that we meet the requirements? And then work on something on the sort of in the background?
Well, we have one on there now. We have what we're considering our strategic plan as our goals and objectives.
Okay.
So we're in compliance. But
So how does that differ from long range plan?
it's two different words for
Hmm.
the same thing. At some point, they decided that strategic planning sounded way better than long range
Right,
planning.
it sounds more aggressive, more
Yeah.
like you're doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Well, and I think there's sort of a change, right? Like long range planning,
It's more aspirational in a way. The strategic planning is
Yeah.
kind of more like you
yeah,
have steps that you have to fulfill, milestones.
well, this is what I'm recommending if we could, because we're gonna be starting a new administration, right, in the next month or so. So why don't we fold strategic planning into long range planning, have that committee, craft something, present something to the board, and we go from there.
that is the committee that I was gonna pull together. In my brain, the long range planning committee is the strategic planning.
That's
committee.
fine, all right, then we're on the same page.
So I think we should just amend the bylaws to make it the strategic, like policy and strategic planning instead of long range.
We could
planning.
do that since it's become a statutory requirement,
Yeah.
right, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's always been a statutory requirement. However, the requirement to have it posted on your website is the new requirement.
Well, this way we can keep track of
Yeah.
it, know that we're not just.
Yeah.
Letting life out.
Committee assignment.
Committee assignments, here they are.
You select committees, you can steal that?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that up to the purview of the new president, the incoming president?
No, well, we talked a little bit, but
We
Yeah.
Discuss.
I'll leave my stamp on things here since I'm not here.
Yeah.
I believe Gloria did them last year.
I object.
Wait, let's see if they put me on finance and then you can object.
Exactly.
I feel hard to get.
They don't wanna be on anything bad. So,
lucky to get somebody.
I put 3 people on each committee. I thought that was, we had a little problem. Sometimes we were only 2, so I did that. I only put Lisa on 1 committee since she's a secretary. We've traditionally done that, and
I did too.
you've got more.
No, I did,
You've
but I
got
was
6
secretary.
committees.
I know.
Yeah, because you
right.
jumped in for somebody.
Yeah, right.
And of course, this year, the long range planning and the building grounds are gonna be really important, so. Finance and personnel always are, so we're gonna be. All hands on deck with the committees. So there you go. Any comments?
Absorbing the shock.
Huh? And Diane
Yeah.
volunteered to continue on the park board.
Well, not
She's in too
simply a
deep.
volunteer, but the bylaws of the original charter of the park mandates that the 3 trustees. One from the library, the village, and the school district serve the length of the park board as their term in office and in respective board. That might be the only rule that's been followed, but I will follow it.
You want to do it anyway, so
I'm a masochist.
I know you are.
I'm getting that in the house for hours.
Yeah. Okay, Kelly, back to you for
All right.
CLS.
So the SCLS proposed budget, there's nothing controversial in it. They're raising our dues, $61. And I wholeheartedly, recommend to the board that you approve
I moved.
the SCLS budget.
I'll second.
Who moved it? Michael?
Michael, I second.
Just had one question. What is PALS?
PALS is the partnership of automated libraries in Suffolk. And that is basically our ILS, which is our integrated library system. So the system, the countywide system, which does not include all of the libraries in Suffolk County. It's the PALS library. I think it's 54. I think there are 2 holdouts. But that's basically our libraries that share ILS, which is the software that we use to circulate items.
Why would 2 libraries choose to opt out?
Because they're fancy and they can afford their own ILS.
Who use that?
So those libraries are paying in?
So,
We pay, yeah, everybody
Well, we
pays
pay-
in because it's much cheaper to pay in and be part of
Oh,
it.
okay, because that's
No,
going up 10%.
Rogers isn't. Yeah, so we, and that's because the, we're in a contract negotiation year with, Innovative, who has that software. And we're working towards moving towards their updated program. So right now we use, I was gonna say Sierra, but it's not Sierra, it's, what is it called? Is it Sierra? It used to be Millennium, now it's Sierra. It's Sierra, but they're talking about going to use something with a dumb name. I forget what it is. They changed the name and charged more money. So yeah, so we've approved that, so all right, do we have any more? Look, it's your meeting, I don't know why I'm running.
So can we have a motion to approve? The usual 2 suspects. Go ahead, Dan.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
wait, you skipped.
Wait, we gotta get a second.
Okay,
I was asking a second from you. since-
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. Okay, now you can go.
Make a motion to go into, oh no, we're period.
Oh, yeah.
Anything from the public?
Wait, let me check my text message.
No, no,
I may have something, hold on. No, I am not getting anything else. Thank you, Nada.
Thank you, Nada.
Oh, no, it's not even here anymore.
Huh?
Oh, there's Dave now, is she still here? No, she's still here, sorry. Take it back, I'm sorry.
All right, Dan, you're on.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
The second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Who seconded?
Motion passed.
You have the time?
6:40.
It's 40.
So you all made a motion to leave executive session at 7:13. Dan Glass made the motion, Elliot, seconded. And you all agreed. Okay,
Okay, so we discussed your evaluation, which I'll go over with you tomorrow.
okay,
And then your compensation will be discussed at the next meeting.
okay,
And we had a discussion on that. And we'll come to a, conclusion next meeting.
okay,
All right,
sounds good.
so now we need.
I make a motion.
Our next meeting, afterwards, we're going to have some refreshments, so please stay. We'll have some extra time for some prosecco.
Have the refreshments.
Refreshments, okay?
What'd you say it was?
Some prosecco and.
No, but what was the reason?
This holiday.
Oh, okay, okay, all right, thank you.
We're leaving.
By the bill.
No, thank you.
To do
No,
something else.
I thought you said it was something else. That's good, excellent.
Okay.
Okay, Dan made the,
I make a motion
Motion.
to adjourn the meeting at 7:14.
all in favor?
Who seconded? Bill? Who was the
Second.
second? Who's second?
I'll second.
Okay,
All in favor?
Bye.
Okay. Well,
thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
You.